We are living like Larry. We're flying high, but not too high, because we're living like Larry.
Bum bum.
I
How
think we
was
should
that
do
I
that
feel like
again.
that would work if it was
That
like
was
on
bad.
Halloween.
Was that supposed to be like Count Chocula? What was
Yeah.
that?
Fuck
Yeah,
is Rhino, man.
That was very Count Chocula.
That's how I said Halloween, yeah.
I was thinking more like a Finnish person getting ass raped.
Yes, because Mark can do a
What?
Finnish accent.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Or maybe Swedish. It's like, living like a Larry. I don't know.
Bum 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 do 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 do.
What the fuck is going on?
Mark, this ain't that kind of podcast.
No,
Kind of sounded like Darude Sandstorm a bit.
What?
I don't know what it was.
Did not
but
at
it
all sound
offended
like
me.
Darude Sandstorm to me.
All right, fair enough. I'm wrong.
It offended me personally.
I thought it was cool, but it didn't sound like Darude Sandstorm.
I think we should all hear Sam's story and then move
Ah.
Oh
on.
yes, please
fuck.
enlighten me, Sam.
Sam said he has a story.
All right,
he-
yeah.
He said it. He wanted to do it.
Yep. All right. Okay. So I was in the bathroom of one of our classroom buildings. And I didn't shit myself like Mark did. But yeah, so I was in there.
Whoa.
No,
I was in
no,
there
no.
taking
We're
a shit,
revisiting
Shut
that
up, Mark.
at the end.
and I was close to wrapping up, and then a guy walked in to go pee, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to come out of the stall like while he's in here. But this guy clearly had no idea what was in there. So he walks in like humming and stuff, and I'm like, okay, he's in a good mood. That's normal. And then he starts talking to himself while I was at the urinal, and I was like, oh, that's weird. But it was like mumbling, so I couldn't hear what he was saying. It was like, and I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, what is this guy doing? And then he proceeds to get weirder as he pees like a fucking racehorse for like a minute. I'm not even kidding. I'm sitting there like, okay, like I really want to go back to class right now. This guy is still peeing. Like, what the fuck is he doing? So he wraps up, and I'm like, okay, now I can get out of this stall and go back to class. I hear like the sink turn on. I was like, okay, this is good. Then all of a sudden, I hear him slapping himself. Not even he's like just standing there, and I hear like slapping. Like, oh, what the fuck? And then he starts jumping up and down, like just jumping. And I'm still in the stall. Like, I just want to go back to class, but I don't want to walk out of this stall now because then I have to look at this guy and be like, hey man, what have you been doing for the last like 5 minutes? So eventually he wraps up his jumping and walks back out still humming.
Is it possible this man was on shrooms and he was trying to...
Whatever this guy was on, I never want to go to Daniel's again.
Maybe
it's scary in there.
I feel like he was, like slapping himself, trying to like, get it together.
That's what I felt like. Like, I don't know, like he had like some presentation and he was like hyping himself up.
Yeah.
But it was weird, and I just wanted to go back to class.
This sounds like something Saha would do.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking in the moment. I was like, this is what would happen if Saha walked into a public bathroom and thought he had the bathroom to himself.
That was
Mark,
a good
what's your
story.
take? What's your
I would
take,
like
Mark?
the record to show that I did not shit myself in a bathroom.
There is an episode that clearly states that you shat yourself.
I never said it. There was something completely unrelated. Well, it was related, but I didn't shit myself.
I'm glad that we can agree that you shat yourself.
Not only did he explicitly say that he did it, but he used the N-word when he said it.
Shut the fuck up, AJ.
That's just, it was in an old episode. It's there.
Yeah, it's
Go
a public
find that for
record.
me.
He
Yeah,
did
we don't
say
do
the
that.
N-word.
We don't do that on this podcast. We don't go back and replay old episodes in the new
We don't fact
episode.
check ourselves.
I think we should establish a rule where we don't say the N-word, though. That seems like it should be common knowledge, but some of us just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, EJ. All right, no saying the N-word. No trying to lynch people. Keep it classy.
Whoa! We established that the content from the last episode did not run into this episode.
No,
Whoa, I didn't say anything about the last episode. I don't know where you're coming from.
I think Mark hears mention of the N-word, and he just starts thinking of lynching. So he's got to be like, "Oh, guys, we're not lynching anymore."
He just lashes out because he feels so
Yeah.
insecure about his own prejudices.
It flashes in his mind. He hears N-word lynch, and then he's like, "Whoa! We got to stop the show."
I feel like while we have 15 minutes left, we should give
down.
Mark a chance to defend himself for once.
Mark,
Nope,
Mark,
I
it's
refuse.
okay.
Okay,
All right,
fine.
Mark.
You've lost your chance.
Would you like to hear my defense?
Nope,
There
I
it is.
don't.
No, he declined. It
Nope.
was
Here we go.
definitive
Suck
proof.
my dick. There you go.
All
Alright,
right,
Mark,
what is the least
definitive.
racist
Is that
thing
admissible in
you've
court?
done, Mark?
It's not.
What's the what?
the least racist thing that you have
I
done?
know there is no right answer to that question, so you will not get one.
Ah, he didn't fall for the fucking trap.
What's the most racist thing you've done?
Ah, that's a good
Oh.
I
one.
think you all know the most racist thing I've ever done.
Okay, but wait. Now, objectively, or let's say from an outsider standpoint, that seems racist due to historical context, but racist because there was no malintent when you said the word. So technically, that wasn't the most racist thing you've deliberately done. I think we need to know the most racist thing you did on purpose, like with
On
intent.
purpose?
That's valid.
That you saw like a person of another race and thought, I don't like this person because of their race, so I'm going to do X. What was X?
Yeah, that's never happened.
I
Ooh.
disagree with that.
All right, name it. Go ahead, on the air. Name a time I've deliberately been racist.
I know at least one black person that you do not like.
Because
Yeah,
he's
but
black?
it's
Wow.
not because they're black.
Wow, Mark,
It-
you don't like
it
a
was-
black person?
Kind of because they were black.
No,
Ooh.
not at all.
Wait, is it
Ooh,
Jalen?
Like,
okay,
just
who is
for the
this?
record, can state we're talking about. Wait, I can't say. I don't know his last name anyway. Jalen
Yeah, that's what I
from
thought.
Middle Creek.
Yeah, no, that's because he
And-
was lazy. That is not because he's black.
He was an arrogant, lazy
He had the
ass.
worst attitude. I don't really like him either.
Seth, is this really the time to be agreeing with the racist?
Yes, in this scenario, yes, because I understand where Mark's coming from.
I think Seth is.
What
Seth
about
is
you,
trying
EJ?
to
I'd like
get,
to hear. I'd like to hear your version of that. EJ. When was the time you've been most deliberately racist?
Right, let me think about this. It's certainly not the time that I vehemently defended my best buddy and soulmate, Terry Crews.
Oh, stop trying to make yourself.
Yeah, what?
Probably when he said we should
Fuck.
lynch Dwayne
Get
Johnson.
the fuck out of here.
I did
Whoa.
not try and lynch
Two
Dwayne
people
Johnson.
just broke that rule, and Sam doesn't get on their asses.
You already
I
broke it,
mentioned
so I
the
figured
word
fuck
lynch,
it.
and Sam is all over me.
Look, what can I say? Just people like to be all over you, Mark.
Mark,
you.
your body feels good to be on.
Yeah.
That's why people want to be on you.
Don't flatter me. You.
It was kind of working. He
EJ's
was-
Discord name a couple days ago was pretty racist.
That is not-
Oh yeah.
How is that racist if I'm aspiring to be that? That is me wanting to be more like a certain other race.
No.
No.
That is cultural appropriation. That
That's-
is literally cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, well,
not even,
cultural
like, any
cultural
frills.
appropriation is stupid. Okay,
I thought you were
I'm
about
not
to say
dressing-
cultural appropriation is not
dressing up-
racism.
I'm not dressing up like a Native American and going oh in the streets. That's racist.
No one mentioned that at all.
No, you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, but
you're
so
talking
is your
about-
Discord name.
hyperboles. Don't use hyperboles ever.
Hey, Mark, shut the fuck up. I mentioned that because you're talking about cultural appropriation. Okay, buddy. I think that's stupid.
All right.
People are like, if you speak Spanish, that's cultural appropriation. If you make like a
I
Jamaican,
don't
fruit
think
salad,
anybody
that's
has
cultural
ever said if you speak Spanish, it's cultural
Yeah.
appropriation.
Actually, there's a meme going around that is just.
Okay, well,
That's
memes,
definitely
Memes-
fine.
memes
is
don't
the
count.
least valid source of information.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what the point is?
There was no point.
I admire those people on the street, and I wanted to be like them.
Why are they on the street?
I don't know. That's just what
That's
they
a
like to
good
be.
point.
I'm not calling them homeless. They said that's what they call themselves, and that's
Oh
why
my
I
God.
wanted to
Definitely
be like
came
them.
across
You're,
that
you're
way.
just digging
EJ.
a deeper hole for yourself.
Well, my hole's been dug. I'm still resident racist because
Who?
fucking
Oh,
Clan
okay. I thought that was
Neophytos.
a sexual metaphor.
because Clan Neophytos was dissolved before we could ever fucking change that.
Oh, dodged a bullet there.
Mark's like, yes, they're not targeting me.
That was his whole plan. He tried to flip it, push it towards.
It was a
me.
good plan.
It
I
was,
feel like
it
I feel like
worked.
I was leading that attack against you. Don't give Mark credit for my stuff.
No, I'll go back. That's what he did. He said, "EJ, what is your most deliberately racist thing?" And then Sam just
Wait, what was your answer for that
went
again?
at it. Well, you guys said it was my name.
No, I want to
I
hear
didn't
you.
say it was the
Immediately
most
after I
thing. I just
asked
said
him,
it
he
was.
said it's definitely not this, and started talking about how he was defending Terry Crews.
Yeah, that's what
I didn't say
said.
your username was your most racist thing. I just said it was a racist thing.
No, somebody said that. I don't know.
Hmm.
Gotta be honest. I've never honestly.
Well, that was a double
Really?
entendre.
Yeah, it was. No, it's not. What?
What?
What do you think a double entendre is?
What?
Oh.
What do you think a double entendre is?
I don't know. I just saw the first group was double that I could think of. Mark, if you don't shut the fuck up, I will
Mark.
kick you out of this house.
Stop yawning, talking. You racist
You did this all the
bastard.
time when we were roommates. It was the most annoying thing.
Bryce is pretty racist.
Wait, we were roommates? The fuck? How come nobody told me?
I have
Okay,
no comment
so-
to that.
I feel like we need to move on.
What would you like to move on to, Mr.
But you didn't even answer the question.
There's
No,
no
we're moving
answer to
on,
the
Seth.
question. I
Seth,
can't
we are
think of
moving the
something.
fuck on.
No, I will stay right here.
No,
What do you want-
Mr. Miller.
Seth,
what
Seth,
would
what do
you
you want
like
me
to move on to?
I have nothing to move on to. I'm staying right here. Seth, what do you want me to say?
I don't want you to move on.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh.
Fuck you. Pulls me back into it and then tells me to move on. Fuck you.
That's
God,
what hosts be doing
Well,
out here.
maybe later.
Everyone's making me out to be the bad guy so Mark can come out of this one scot-clean. No. Mark is the bad
speaking
guy.
of Scott tape,
What?
do they have a new formula or something? It's super sticky, am I right, guys?
Shut up.
When was the last time you used Scotch tape?
I use it pretty regularly.
For
Wait,
what?
no, wait, no. Scotch tape's like clear shit. Never mind.
Yeah. What kind of
What
tape
kind of
do you
tape
use
do you
regularly?
use?
I use like
So-
masking tape.
Oh, I use
Like
masking
blue
tape.
tape?
No, like white tape. No, it's like
God damn
tan.
it, man. Why did you have to say that?
What?
What?
Wow. White
It's like
tape?
tan tape.
Oh, no, it's tan.
No, it's like that. You know that like tan color?
Yeah, I know
It's
what
that.
you're talking about.
So
Yeah.
Mark is saying he saw a shade of brown and assumed it was white? Is that what you're saying?
Is tan a shade of brown?
Yeah, tan, you mix brown and white to make tan.
Yeah, it doesn't
Really?
make it a shade of brown though.
Feel like...
It literally
What?
does.
Yes, it does.
You know,
No, you can't
Mark-
mix like blue and green and then call that a shade
Yeah, but
of
no,
blue.
mixing
That's
white
not
and
how
black
that
with
works.
something makes it a shade.
Yeah, if you have blue and
Is
you mix
tan
white, it
a
makes it a shade of
shade-
blue.
Hold the fucking phone. I'm googling it. I don't trust
know,
any of your answers.
Mark on this podcast
Fuck!
reminds me of
Right, you
Trump's
got me.
presidency.
Yeah.
Tan is a pale tone of brown.
Mark, this is like kindergarten knowledge, buddy.
Oh my
What's
god. Do you
going
not
on
understand how
over
I'll have
colors
you
work?
know, my teacher wanted to hold me back in kindergarten. My mom had to tell her no.
Was that because you threw
Well, it
sand at people?
shows.
Did you
That
throw
was
sand
in-
at people?
God, that was your timeline's way off. That was in like 4th grade, 3rd grade, something like that.
You threw sand at people in 3rd grade?
I don't know. I kicked sand at people.
Why?
Big difference.
Why?
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Scotch tape. Let's
No,
get
I
back
think
to
we
the
can move on from the
subject.
Scotch tape. I want to hear this. We only have 3
Yeah.
minutes left.
I want to hear why you were such a bully in 3rd grade.
All right. Well, we only have 3 minutes left. To really get to the underlying issue of this, we're gonna have to go back to when I was born. I was born in a hospital in
Yep.
the U.S. Did you
Skip.
say skip?
This is a cutscene, right? Skip it.
Yeah, right now I'm like times twoing.
All right.
Yeah.
So I had just turned 4, and I was having a Batman and Robin themed birthday party.
Yep.
This does
And-
sound interesting.
All right.
know.
I'm gonna hit skip again.
So there I am, screaming in the front yard because my finger just got cut off.
Skip.
No, actually, no. Go back. I like that
Ah,
part.
too late. It got
No,
No,
skipped.
that's a terrible story. He was fingering a crab. No one wants to hear it.
I
All
kinda-
right,
I
so
kind of want to hear that
Talk about
story.
the time-
So I just turned 6.5, and I had the Very Odd Parents video game.
Just get to the
That's
fucking
fairly
part we
odd
want to hear
parents.
about.
Barely? I was trying to think about it before I said it. I wasn't sure.
This is why you never think before you say things.
I'm trying to think of how old I was in 3rd grade. How old were you guys in 3rd grade?
I don't know, like 10 maybe?
I know that because I was 8 when my mom died, and that was also 3rd grade.
Probably
All
9
right,
actually.
So there I am, 7 years old in 2nd grade. Now I had just moved from public school to being homeschooled. Now I am killing it in homeschooled in the math category. Everything else I suck ass at, but math, I knew those improper.
Dude, you've got 40
fractions.
seconds. Hurry the fuck up.
All right, so there I am, 8 years old, on the playground,
There
right?
you go.
And as you know, the playground has sand on it, right?
Yes.
No.
And so there was a person nearby who was coincidentally my teacher, and
20
I kicked
seconds.
sand at them.
But I asked why. I didn't say what. I already know you kick sand at people.
Oh,
I
Before
think
this
we've established
episode ends,
Why?
why.
I just want to remind everyone that
Oh.
Mark is racist and the bad guy.
Yeah.
Mark, you just
I have-
wasted the last 5 minutes of the podcast.
I have a feeling
Mark,
that
You
Mark's
Mark is a
wanted me
supervillain.
kicked.
We're out of time.
Mark's not white, and that's why he
Oh my
kicks
God.
in at them. It makes sense.
Yes.